Welcome to the show. Today we are doing Mark and Yo at the movies. We wanted to give our interpretation of a few movies that have come out over the past few weeks. One we have a disagreement on, and the other one I did not take the time to go see, but my wife said she's somewhat, I don't know, I'll let her tell about it. But first of all, the first movie we want to discuss is going to be Masters of the Universe. Amen. So I wanted to show both pictures because we had the 1987 version and then we had the 2026 version. So you can see a breakdown of the characters. I thought this movie was pretty good. I did not have any issues with it at all, but my wife did not agree with me on this one. I felt it was campy just like the original TV show was. It was much better than the original movie that came out in '87. That movie was not a good movie, and it really, for me, didn't represent He-Man at all or Masters of the Universe. This one was, I would say, a little bit more, somewhat more accurate to what the show was about back in the day. So I was good with it, but I'll let my wife tell you how she felt about it.
It was so campy. I mean, I was a big fan of the cartoon. Um, 85, 86 when the cartoon came out.
Yeah.
Of course, Era, when it came out a year or two later. Um, I don't remember the cartoon being that campy. I went to work the next day and none of my coworkers saw the newer movie. But, I talk about how silly I kind of thought some scenes were. And they were like, well, yeah, that was the cartoon. I don't remember the cartoon being like that. I'm honestly, but I was rather bored in it. It wasn't that long of a movie. A little bit under 2 hours, I believe it was, and it was long. I mean, if Mark wants to go see it again, the passes, yeah, I'll go and see it. If it come on TV, will I see it? Maybe not. I don't know. It didn't really do anything for me. When I saw they were doing a He-Man movie, I was like, oh yeah, yeah, because I just love the cartoon. The '87, movie, I wouldn't watch that again. You know,
That was hard.
that was bad. You know, and it could just be because I was just such a big fan of the cartoon, and when the movie came out, it was just
Had nothing to do with the actual cartoon.
yeah, yeah, I agree. So, uh,
Now, I do have to say this movie did give us a full circle moment because Dolph Lundgren has a cameo in the movie, which I thought was kind of funny. So yeah, um, like I said, I enjoyed it. Man at Arms was really cool.
no, I didn't like his character. I'm sorry.
You're a big fan of Elvis Elba.
Well, I'm a big fan of how he looks. But no, I mean, he lost his way, which people do in life. But no,
I truly didn't have any problems with it. The recent cartoon that was on Netflix, that one to me was not a He-Man cartoon. This one to me was more He-Man, and I really enjoyed what we got out of this. Him growing up, him um, trying to get back to his home world, Eternia, from Earth. Him, telling everybody his secrets, him drawing everything on this, all around. So yeah, I really enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was quite funny at its in points, and I thought it had its great moments as well. So I had no big issues with it. On a scale of 1 to 5, I would probably say it's a 3.5 to a 4-star movie because you're going to go in thinking that this is supposed to be just like the He-Man cartoon, not thinking we're going to get some Shakespearean drama out of these characters. That is not what we got. So I thoroughly have to say I enjoyed it. But you, what would you rate this movie?
I would give it 2.5 stars. I don't like the idea of. I mean, in the cartoon, nobody really knew Adam was He-Man. And in this, all of Eternia pretty much knew, and I thought that was just a little, a
Well,
little
no,
weird.
he still tried to hide it, even though everybody was like,
Okay,
"Is he running?"
he tried to hide it, but everybody knew. That crazy person that is out in left field is trying to be on the down low, and then when you look at that crazy person and be like, "What is he doing?" We all see him. That's kind of how I feel about this Adam. I mean, Adam was always kind of quirky when he was Adam and when he was He-Man, pretty much two personalities. In this one, I wouldn't say it was a two personality person. Of course, a little bit different, where he grew up there and where in this movie he grew up on Earth with there. So of course, him spending time, looking for what he was looking for, you know, could be kind of a reasoning why, I kind of figured he was just plain silly. But, to go around telling everybody from another planet, yeah, you maybe tell your best friend, but telling everybody, I'm sorry, I'm going to take you next.
Okay. Yeah, that was a little bit weird. And I gotta say, Cringer, the cat, was not scared of anything.
Yeah.
So, he was willing to fight everybody. So that was different as well. You did still get,
The sorceress was in there.
yeah, the sorceress was good. I was going to say his parents, um, and his parents in this one, they know he's He-Man, where, again, in a cartoon, they did not know that he was
I
He-Man.
think his mother kind of knew in the cartoon.
Okay. Also, you got to think that, what is it? Sheila in the cartoon, I know they were hinting at that she was the daughter of the sorceress, where this one they didn't quite give you that hint. So that was a little bit different as well.
Well, it was only a 2-hour movie, so
yeah,
you can't reveal. I can't remember how many seasons it was. Maybe 3.
okay.
So you can't put everything in 3 seasons in a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So.
But it did have a nice little surprise ending, so maybe we'll see a part 2 to this movie. I don't know because it didn't do as well, I guess, as they thought, but I enjoyed it. I would be willing to see it again. My wife did not enjoy it, but she said she would see it if I want to go see it again.
And I gotta say, Skeletor. I mean, there was a scene where it just literally Skeletor was kind of buff. That what I remember in the cartoon. I mean, I can't go too much in the '87 movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, so I can go by memory of the cartoon. But I felt like Skeletor was buff, and I thought the person that played it in this movie was tiny. I didn't feel like that muscular, built. You know, his costume to me looked like it was a costume.
So it was Jared Leto, who,
Well, Jared Leto.
He was a smaller individual to begin with, so I thought he looked fine. He is smaller. Where Skeletor in the cartoon, every single character in the cartoon was Arnold Schwarzenegger, as a character. So they were all really built characters. This one, they didn't do that. So that's why Skeletor did look a little bit smaller. But, like I said, I didn't have any issues with him at all. But, like, my wife did not enjoy that at all. And I knew when it was over, she was like, oh my God, this was just so campy. And make sure, like I said, we sat through the credits to see the post scene, which I thought was a good post scene. I am looking forward to seeing if they are able to carry this on. And it is, to me, it's way better than the Netflix show. So I was thoroughly excited about it. And it was way better than the original movie. So again, like I said, I would definitely give it about 4 stars as a rating. And if you do get an opportunity to see it, by all means, go check it out. If you enjoyed the original TV show, I think you will find this as a good alternative to what the cartoon brought us back in the original 80s. So, anything you want to say before we close on that?
No, I mean, even though I wasn't a fan of, this Masters of the Universe, I mean, it's a movie. I enjoy going to the movies. I like the atmosphere. I like seeing it in a dark theater, the comfortable seats with my large Coke and popcorn. So, go and see it. I mean, really, why not? Just as I said before, and I'll probably continue saying it, if we don't go to the movies, then the movie theaters are going to be obsolete. You know, so go and have fun. Maybe you'll like it better than me. You won't know unless you go and watch it.
Absolutely. So, the next movie we're going to discuss, I did not see this because this didn't look like anything that I wanted to see. But my wife went and saw this one yesterday, which is Disclosure Day. So I'm going to let her talk about it because she had a lot to say when she came home, is the only way I can put it. So, what did you think about this?
I mean, it's an alien movie, so I'm a sci-fi girl, so, I kind of wanted to see this. I kind of heard mixed reviews on this movie. I heard that it was great, what's her name? Emily Blunt. I do like her as an actress. She was in it. I can't remember the name of the guy. Um, that her boyfriend was the guy that was the bad Captain America. So he kind of played her boyfriend. You know? Yeah, Tony Stark was. Yeah. So, I mean, it's aliens. Um, I think this movie for me, my aunt and I went to it and saw it last night, and afterwards, I asked her how she liked it. She actually kind of said the same word I said. We just said it was interesting. There was a couple of scenes where, you know, um, person A has been compromised. Well, person B has been compromised. Person A knows person B was compromised. You do not bring person B along with you. That really takes me off. This person compromised to, not their fault why they were compromised, but leave them be and pick them up later. Don't have them come with you and, the police, the FBI, whoever is going to come and find you because of this person being compromised. That really ticks me off. Also, in the same respect, you have, another character in it, and everybody thinks that this person is nuts. And the significant other to this person is like, calling the hospital. You need to come and get her. You need to come and get her because she's nuts. And of course, by the end of the movie, we know, it's she was right. But but basically, I don't want to say too much on it because I think the movie came out
Friday.
Friday, about a week or so ago, so it's still kind of new. But are we alone? Kind of is answered in the movie. Steven Spielberg, I believe, directed this movie. So, he's really big on the, aliens and space thing too. It was kind of a long movie. It was like almost 2.5 hours. So, I don't know all that was needed, but, it was okay. it ended with you don't know how it ended. It could go either way. This could happen or that could happen. It kind of leave it up to us that, hey, everything is good or, oh my goodness, we're doomed. So I thought that was an interesting in that aspect. You do have your military people who, is trying to hide something after the good guys, but you see that in a lot of alien space movies, where the military is always the bad guys, and they're always after this. They want power, they want money, they want to hide it, which kind of makes me think. I will say this: should we know that there is aliens among us, as a world, should we, is it okay for us to be in the dark or should we know? Because if we're in the dark, of course, the people that have this power is going to continue to have this power because they know of this power. However, at the same time, if you find out that, these aliens exist, mass hysteria, religious issues, are we ready to know that? And I know in some movies, I am actually a firm believer on we really shouldn't know everything. Secrets are there. You know, um, I don't tell my kids everything as a mother, to what's going on in our life, our household. So sometimes I think people need to be foreseen as being kids and should we know everything? But at the same time, you can be taken advantage of if you don't know. So I kind of feel like that's the question with this movie. Because it's 2.5 hour movie. I mean, eat before you go. Make sure you have popcorn. I did, you know, but it was okay. I would give it maybe 3 point, maybe 3.5 stars, just because there were some things, like I said, the compromised person, why bring them, and but that's in every movie like that. So,
Okay.
I think it's made like $93 million so far, I believe. So it's
Wow.
making money. It's not onto his budget yet. I think the budget was like 118. But go see it. Why not? I, I think I liked it better than He-Man.
You think, but you're not quite
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Just because how it ended, I like seeing an ending to a movie or show. I hate, should you go right, should you go left. I want to know we went right, we went left. So I kind of, was a little bit, huh, and I think that's why my aunt and I both said at the same time, interesting. There was not a lot of people there, but it was, Tuesday. Yesterday was Tuesday.
Hmm.
Tuesday, we went to the 5:30 show. So, it was the regular matinee, wasn't a big theater. So it might have been maybe 15, 20 of us, if I already count how many people was in there. But, yeah, I think I kind of liked it a little bit better than He-Man.
Okay. Well, that is her review. As I said, I didn't see it because it didn't look like anything I was interested in watching. So I was like, yeah, you can go. I will be okay. Maybe I will watch it if it's on TV. Maybe. I'll have to think about that one. Because I have seen movies that I felt like wasted my time. Interstellar.
You keep on bringing it. I would.
I was like, oh my God. The movie could have been over in 10 minutes. They wasted the other 2 hours and 50 minutes doing absolutely nothing. So choose not to sit see movies that I don't think I'm going to be interested in anymore because I did waste time going to see stuff I do not like.
But you can't always say that because
No,
you
2001: A Space Odyssey
okay.
was
Look,
just as bad.
leave my dad alone. Okay. But I mean, if you never went to the movies and seen any of these movies, how can you really have an opinion on if it's sick or if it sucks or not? I mean, I know Mark and I has given our reviews. It's just our opinion. We're just two people in the big universe.
Well, I look at it like you don't like to watch trailers. I watch trailers. That way I can determine if it's something I want to see. I watched the trailer to Disclosure and realized right then and there that this was something I didn't want to see. And it's like the one with the what is it, the back door, the back room, where they're at the mall and then they're just going through the wall. So I've seen that trailer a few times. I don't think I want to see that movie, so I haven't mentioned that at all. So, in this one, I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, so they're aliens, but it's going to be from a human point of view, whether or not they should disclose whether or not aliens are there. So I enjoyed what is it, Independence Day, because everybody knew at the same time. This one, nobody knows until the end, I guess, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was the same day. What was it? The robot that came. The guy came with the robot to tell people not to.
The Day the Earth Stood
The
Still.
day the
I
Earth
love
stood
that
still.
movie.
So I
The
didn't.
original one, not the one that Keanu Reeves. Even though I love Keanu Reeves, we're talking about the original one that originally came out in black and white back in '56, I think it was.
So I didn't like that movie either. And I sat through it and I was like, well, that to me was, because everybody talked about how great it was.
It was a great movie.
And it was a waste of my time because I was like, nothing happened until they shot the guy. Then the robot went crazy and started killing people. And I was like, I can do without that. So I didn't enjoy that. And I guess I'm not a big fan of sci-fi in that sense of the movies where they're talking about aliens coming to Earth. I don't think I've really been a big fan of those movies. So I don't think I would be a good, somebody that would be an enjoy Disclosure Day. So that's just my opinion. If you are into these type of movies, by all means go and check it out. Um, it is, an alien movie that they come to Earth. So if you like that, go to a movie theater, tell me if you did enjoy it below, and maybe I'll give it a shot when it comes on TV, and I'll check it out at that point. Anything you want to say in closing?
Look, I don't like watching trailers just because I sometimes feel like the trailers give out too much information. There's been trailers that I've seen that when I went to the movies, that's all it was. It was the trailer. And then I feel disappointed. If I go to a movie, I do like to get there in time enough to see the trailer, but I won't rewatch it on YouTube or anything like that. I'll just watch it when I go to the movies because I want to sit there and I want to experience it. Oh my goodness, I didn't know this was gonna happen. Where sometimes the trailers would just give everything away, and I'm sitting there in the theater like, oh my god, I already knew this was gonna happen. I'm bored. Let me get up and go get more popcorn, and I never get up and get popcorn. So that's kind of my thing of why I don't want to see the trailer. I want to go and experience it truly for the first time. I'm happy seeing that the movie is coming out, but I don't need to dive into it to see the scenes, the third trailer, the fourth trailer. I think another trailer for what Superhero I think just came out. Did happen to see it because I was at a movie, but I think it was yesterday when I saw the trailer for it. But other than that, no, I want to be surprised. So that's just how I feel about it.
All right. Well, the next movie we should be doing a review on will be
Toy Story 5?
Yes, Toy Story 5, which I think is too many. 3 was a good ending to the story, but let's see what happens in this. We will hopefully give you our review on that movie as soon as we check it out. All right, till next time, I want to say we'll see you at the movies.